Amazing facts about baby killer Lucy Letby. The parents of nurse Lucy Letby revealed amazing facts about her. Here's the part 2 of the series. Ironically, given the nature of Letby's crimes, the key to understanding her sometimes claustrophobic relationship with her parents may well lie in her own infant years. One of the killer's closest friends, who went to school with her, and also refuses to accept her school friend's guilt, told the BBC's Panorama program last week that Letby wanted to become a neonatal nurse because she herself had survived a traumatic birth. If true, this might go some way towards explaining why John and Susan Letby had a tendency to overprotect their daughter. What effect this might have had on Letby as she entered her adult years is another matter entirely. One psychologist connected to the case told the Mail Letby was a covert narcissist. Having been at the center of her parents' universe for so long, she craved the attention she had received since childhood. And once she was living away from them, needed to find it elsewhere. Other text messages sent throughout her murderous spree reveal how she sought sympathy and admiration from colleagues. After the death of her first victim, Baby A, in June 2015, a fellow nurse sent her a message which read, "I hope you are okay, you were brilliant." Letby responded, "It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Just a big shock for us all. Hard coming in tonight and seeing the parents." According to Dominic Wilmot, a lecturer in criminology at Loughborough University, some of the nurse's texts suggest she wanted to garner sympathy after the baby's deaths. He said last week that she may have been motivated by a pathological desire for attention and sympathy. Another key prosecution argument throughout her trial was that Letby wanted to gain the sympathy of a doctor with whom she had become infatuated. There have even been suggestions that Letby was suffering from Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a condition in which carers can intentionally harm children in order to gain attention for themselves. There are claims that she was animated after some of the murders, as if reveling in the drama she had created. John Letby was present when his daughter was arrested for the first time on July 4, 2018. He had stayed the night after driving her home the day before, following one of the family's holidays to Torquay, and watched as she was led out of the house by police officers. In court, Letby was close to tears when she said that, after her arrest, her father had made her bed. Her room, as the jury saw from photographs shown in court, was rather childlike, full of stuffed toys, fairy lights and a saccharine sign on a wall that read, "Leave sparkles wherever you go." In her kitchen was a happy birthday mummy note from her cats, sent by her own mother. Letby was released on bail before being arrested on 2 further occasions, in June 2019 and November 2020, as investigations continued. On one occasion, when she was arrested at her childhood home, her distraught mother is said to have pleaded with officers, "I did it. Take me instead." Before their daughter's trial started last October, the couple, who still run a family radiator business, relocated from Hereford, renting an apartment close to Manchester Crown Court. They may now choose to relocate once more, to be near Letby, as she begins her life sentence at a prison likely to be far from the family home. Throughout the trial, the couple were seen exchanging loving glances with their daughter, who often sought to make eye contact with them, determined to hear every last piece of evidence against her. They have, at times, been an irascible presence in court, lambasting journalists over their coverage of the trial and bemoaning its duration, which forced them to extend the lease on their rented flat. They became a familiar sight during breaks in proceedings, both smoking cigarettes on the steps of the courthouse. Despite everything they have heard about Letby's wicked actions, the couple's faith in her has proved unshakable. Last Friday, when all the verdicts were made public, Mrs. Letby's disbelief was laid bare in court when she collapsed sobbing into her husband's arms at one point, shouting, "You can't be serious. This cannot be right." Their decision to stay away from court yesterday was yet another clear sign of their continuing solidarity with their daughter. Being forced to listen day in, day out to details of the evil she perpetrated is more than most parents could bear. And yet, it is still nothing compared with the grief of those whose innocent premature babies were given a chance at life, only to have it murderously snatched away. At the heart of this monstrous tale stands a simple question. How could a child raised by such adoring parents have turned out to be one of the worst child serial killers in modern British history? If John and Susan Letby ever come to accept their daughter's guilt, it is a question they will be asking themselves for the rest of their lives. The end of Devil.